with Judith John. In today's session, we'll be learning how to draft invitations. Now, that is something I know all of you would have received in your home from friends, from family, and you would have seen a lot of invitations. It's a part of our life. Okay. Now, if you look at your English question paper, it appears as question number 2 in part B writing section, and the total marks is 3. As usual, like the notice, like the advertisement and posters, this also has to be done in one full page with put in a box. Okay, and although the word limit is mentioned as 50, you don't have to actually go with perfect 50 and count. If you read the question carefully and you cover all the points, then rest assured that you are going to really do it well. You can see some sample invitations that I have put here by the side. Invitations come in very different ways. We will be seeing the details of invitations and also about replying invitations. Okay. So let's go ahead with learning more about invitations. First of all, we have to be clear with the marking scheme. This year, the marking scheme goes like this. It is 3 marks, a total of 3 marks, 1 mark for each of format, content, and expression. Okay, so this is the way you have to keep in mind that if I'm going to go wrong with the content, this much marks I lose, or if I go wrong with the format, then I lose 1 mark. So it's important to be very clear about the marking scheme. Okay, so here again I have tried here and there to put some extra samples of invitations. Now here again we will go ahead to see more about what has to be covered in an invitation. In an invitation, it is, you know, that invitations, we invite someone for a particular occasion. Unless there is some special occasion, then we will not be inviting. So what is important in it? Who are the people there? Whom are we going to invite? When? Where? What? So all the WH questions. If you answer, your invitation will be done and ready. Okay. So the occasion is important. The name of the invitees and the host is important. You will mention the time, date, and the venue is important. If there are any special invitees, VIPs and chief guests, then you have to mention them as well. Okay. So when we talk about invitation, children, so far only in general we've been talking about invitation, the general purpose of an invitation. But actually invitations fall under 2 categories, the formal and the informal. Okay. Now what is a formal invitation and what is an informal invitation? Now we talk about formal invitations which are being used, example like school annual day, marriage invitations, inauguration, prize distribution ceremony, any kind of jubilee celebration. All these are big time celebrations. A lot of money is involved in it. A large number of people are gathered for this. So these are usually the printed cards that you receive as invitation. And that is why it is okay. And then we go on to the informal invitation. If you look at, okay, that is a sample of a printed card that I tried to put over there. But when we talk about informal invitations, these are the small time parties. Every now and then what we have, dinner parties, birthday parties, okay, a promotion in a job, a success in an exam, you passed your class 12 successfully with above 90%, you want to celebrate it. Any kind of these small time invitations, smaller groups, okay, very less number of people, maybe they celebrated within the house or in a very small restaurant, anywhere it can be done. So then this is informal. What is the difference between the formal and the informal invitation? Informal invitation is written like a letter, handwritten ones, because it's hardly some 10 people or 20 people or 30 people maximum that we'll be calling, then we can just have it handwritten letters. So these are simple, This party is also a much smaller one. The time also is a little limited. When we talk about formal ones, then they are printed cards. The number is large. It's a big time money also involved. So they're all big celebrations. And smaller celebrations are the informal ones, I think. Okay, let's see closely about the formal invitations. Now, when we talk about formal invitations, okay, the very first thing is we have to remember we are printing the cards because it is a lot of people involved. Okay, if you notice and look at any printed card, usually it is in the third person. The invitation is written in the third person. Say for example, any wedding invitation. Then what is written over there? Mr. and Mrs. So and so cordially invite. It will not be I am inviting. Okay, so the third person use, the simple present tense being used. These are some of the important things that you have to keep in mind. The date of writing is not to be given at all. There is no signature of the host. Okay, in case a VIP or a chief guest is there, their name is mentioned. All right. The abbreviation RSVP is always written at the left hand corner. You can see it here in this card also. RSVP is written over there, which means actually please reply. Okay, so please reply to this. All right. Whether you're coming or not coming. Now, why should we reply an invitation? You may think, okay, people are giving invitation. Very carelessly we think if I have time I'll go, if I want I'll go, if I don't want I'll not go. That is not the way it goes, because for the person who is arranging, then he will know the count of people who are coming and he will accordingly adjust the space, the timing, the food arrangement. Otherwise, you see, we keep wasting a lot. We have heard about how Indians with weddings and things, we waste a lot of things. So at least that can be avoided. Okay, so here we are talking about the formal invitation even more on how the occasion has to be written. Okay, there is no salutation involved. All right, and no subscription is added. All right, but then you can see one thing: the printed cards, it is always centered. All the words are centered. It is not written in one side and this side and all. And also different font sizes are used. Differently styled letters are used. So these are some of the important points you have to keep in mind when you are designing or drafting a formal invitation. And of course, you have to cover all the important points. Okay. So here are some more information I would like to give about formal invitation. The more you look at it, the more points you cover, you will get to learn more on how perfectly I can draft a formal invitation. So this is, you can see over here, the points are being displayed on the use of varying font size, how the name of the host or the invitee should be added. Look at the kind of words you have to use. That's something very, very important. For one thing, English is a very, language of the elite. And you have to learn to use it very politely. So we have to use very polite words also. So there are some phrases and all which you keep using, like request the pleasure of your benign presence or your company. So seek your auspicious presence. I'm trying to give you here some examples which you should be using. Okay. And there are some more examples I would like to show you in real to see how here he cordially request your presence and prayers with family. Okay, or all these are request the gracious presence. All these kind of nice words, the language, the polite language used. Please don't miss on seeing all these little nuances in drafting a formal invitation. And how all the letters, the different sized letters, and how they are being written. Now we move on to informal invitation. These are of course much simpler, and I'm sure for many of you would have written, would have drafted already. Uh, These are very simple letters also, friendly letters, friendly language. Unlike formal invitations where you use all those, the elite style kind of language and very, very, very polite. Here it's friendly and very personal also, you know. So the format goes with this friendly letter format. You have the address of the sender, the date, the year, so and so you can address your, because this is a closed family function. It could be just 20, 30 people, not more than that. You can have a greeting and then inviting and giving the date, time and venue and regards, or, yours lovingly also you can write and sign your name, because these are people who are close to you. When you have your little celebrations, you will want only people who are very close to you. So it is written in a letter form. Okay. The format is just that. It is written in the first person. We are revising again once more. You can also add in yours lovingly or yours affectionately. You don't have to write a long letter. This has to be the same way, in one page only and within the 50-word limit, so you don't have to write long things. You can only write, dear so and so, I hope you're fine and I am happy about this particular thing, whatever your reason be for celebrating the party. I would like to have you here at this time on this date. Please do come over. We'll have a nice time and things like this, where you can be a little more casual. Okay, you can use various tenses also. Here you don't have to stick to the simple present tense. You can use very tenses according to the need and how you're phrasing thing, or you're framing it. Okay, so here you can see a sample of how it is written. I have been awarded the title of the best student of the year. My parents are absolutely delighted and so am I. We have organized a dinner at Towering Heights to celebrate my achievement, and please do come over. That's very nice and very personal, so you can also draft something like this. Now going over to reply to invitation. Reply to invitation again, students, it's something, there are two types. One is accepting or denying. Now the person who is inviting will invite, but then whether to go or not to go is at our disposal and depending on our availability also at times. So it is acceptance or regret or denial that we call it. Okay, now here also you have two types. To a formal invitation you will reply with a formal reply, and to an informal invitation you will reply with an informal reply. And also remember, you can either accept it and say, yes, thank you for your invitation, I will be coming. You can also say, oh, thank you for the invitation, but I'm sorry, I'll not be able to make it because of a prior engagement. I already have something to do, and so no. So but then how you're going to frame it is very important. So here I'll be giving you some samples, in a few seconds on, so that you will find it very easy. You'll have to just change the date, time and the details given in the question and keep the same format, which will be easy for you. So here it's, the kind, invitation, great pleasure, I regret, all these kind of words I've tried to give here also to help you in framing your reply. So invitation is first acknowledged. The thanks is expressed that you thought of inviting me. Thank you for that. The formal reply, again, the invitation is in the third person, so your reply will also be in the third person. Okay. And here you can see the format down there, in what order it goes, of greeting, thanking for the invitation, giving the reason uh, of a prior engagement, or whether you're not able to come, or you're accepting and saying, oh sure, I'll be very glad to be there. Okay, congratulations for the occasion, and so on. You can end it in both ways. Okay, so how to go about this accepting? How do you accept? So you can write like this sample given here: have the great pleasure in receiving the invitation. Okay, and they confirm their presence, they will be there. Now going on to the regret. In regret, what happens? You're saying, no, I'll not be able to come. So here you're going to say, we thank you for the invitation. However, they express their regret. Because of a prior engagement, we are not able to come. Now when we look at informal reply to invitation, since the invitation is in a friendly letter format, the reply will also be in a friendly letter format. So here you can see the same kind of format of a friendly letter. Language is also a friendly one. You can of course thank them, greet them, thank them, that's there. And then you either accept or regret. Now how does this go? So let us look at this sample over here. Here the acceptance of an informal invitation. So here you're going to say many thanks for inviting. We eagerly look forward. Okay. And in case of any help also, please let us know. We will be there to help you. Okay. Don't hesitate to ask us because you are close friends. And yours affectionately. So this is acceptance. Let us have a look at how do you regret or deny or refuse to come because of a particular issue that you have. You can't use words like that, harsh words anyway. So here you will be writing instead that you have an official engagement on that day. Please, accept all our good wishes. My wife and family also join in blessing and wishing you. You can also add one sentence at the earliest possible. We'll try and meet you and catch up with you also. So this is the regret. Okay. Nothing is complete without written practice. So here are some questions for you to practice. Please do write and practice whether really you are able to do it successfully well using all the tips and the format and everything that is given. Okay, so this is for replying invitations. I have given each question in each of the categories of formal invitation, informal invitation, formal reply and informal reply. Please make sure that you practice them to be perfect so that you will successfully create a perfect invitation and score a complete 3 marks. Keep watching Sessions with Judith John for more tips and inputs to excel in English. And please remember, tough times don't last, but tough people do. Be that tough person. You can always text your doubts and queries in the comment box or mail me at sessionswithjudithjohn@gmail.com for a one-to-one tutorial on hourly basis. You can also contact me for doubt clearing sessions only as per your requirement, as English doesn't require a whole lot of time, but the few minutes that you are giving, give it wholeheartedly to get the whole marks. Wish you all the best. God bless you.